Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. All right, I'm not even going to trip about it because I'm not. I'm not. I'm happy to be here. So let me go ahead and get into it. Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Thank you all for joining me tonight for this live broadcast. We're going to do my daily recap, but decided to do it live because I couldn't do it at the stadium today due to the rain. Didn't want to get outside and get wet for everybody. So here you are here. But hey, live broadcast, opportunity for you all to ask any questions that you may want to ask. So Carolina Panthers are preparing to take on the Houston Texans. That'll be a Thursday night primetime game, their only primetime game of the season. And we're going to be facing a new quarterback. So the Houston Texans have been shuffling quarterbacks. Franchise quarterback was Deshaun Watson. And then things happened. And then Tyrod Taylor was their guy. And then he's been put on IR. So who does that leave? That leaves quarterback rookie Davis Mills to start the game. So Coach Rule, being the clever guy that he is, getting more and more respect from him. Not that I didn't have any, but just, this guy seems brilliant. He talks about how they're going to be preparing to take on that quarterback.
We've watched film going back last year, the year before, just to see the scheme. Obviously, Tyrod, was playing really well, so we watched that. I thought when Davis went in, it was pretty much the same thing. They got under center a little bit more. So I think we're just trying to work versus all the different concepts we've seen. Went back to all the preseason games, have a good chance to see Davis play there. Obviously we prepared for him in the draft, so we have a good book on him in terms of all the good things that he does really well. He's an excellent young quarterback. I thought when he went in there, he played well. Had some adversity early on, backed up situation, but then he moved him right down. In 2 minutes, they had a chance to make it a one-score game. So we've watched all that. We're also preparing for Jeff Driscoll, who's come in. You watch him in the Dallas game. He's running some, zone read. So we're preparing for all the zone read stuff. So I don't think too much changes on our end. It really can't on such a short week.
So does that sound like some good preparation with Jeff? Who? I don't even know who that is, but I guess technically that's the fourth quarterback. And Matt Rule has his team preparing even for that quarterback. And, today Coach Rule let us know that he feels like Phil Snow, best coach that he's ever seen. He said that's just him personally. But he's never been coaching a game and haven't had Phil Snow as his defensive coordinator. That goes back to Temple, that goes to Baylor, and now at the Carolina Panthers. And, he's doing a good job, obviously, with the current rankings, top rankings that this team has on defense. And he said, this guy's a hard worker, too, and it's motivation. And Sunday, what did you guys do after the game? You went home, watched a little Sunday Night Football, relaxed. No, Phil Snow stayed at the stadium, got him some coffee, and immediately started preparing for this Houston Texans team. And so was so into it that Coach Rule said come Monday, they had to let him know, hey, remember, it's Monday, we got to go get our COVID test. And he was kind of like, oh, okay, because he hadn't left the stadium. So pretty cool story right there about how Coach likes Coach Phil Snow. And he said one thing that he said today, I do want to point out also, was that he feels like if they get them in a lot of third and long situations, that's actually a situation that could play into their favor. Since they have so many plays and a number of running backs, first and long, second and long, but if they can get them in a third and long, he feels like that's a key for them. And it's a short week. Title of the video here. What's up, Chris Johnson? What's up, Ali? I hope I say your name correctly, by the way. But with a short week, as I mentioned there, Phil Snow already started preparing for it. Players today talked about how that short week also affects them. And the coaches touched on it a little bit too. Coaches pretty much don't get any time off. Started immediately Sunday preparing for this matchup. Brian Burns mentioned how everybody has to suck it up. But the toughest thing about a short week is that it's a really big toll on your body. And the Carolina Panthers did practice today. Now, I'm sure they didn't just go hog wild at it, but they did practice. They get in some contact and going through some things and preparing for the Houston Texans. But, yeah, you got to imagine it's Sunday, get beat up in a real game. Monday is typically a pretty light day, just reviewing film. And then Tuesday you're off, and here you are practicing. And tomorrow, they're going to Wednesday. The Carolina Panthers are going to leave and fly out to Houston. So that's a little bit of that schedule. And Sam Darnold spoke about it too, the short game and short turnaround, how he started preparing Sunday night. And, normally on a primetime game, you'll get a little extra rest, if you're having a Monday night game. But Thursdays, you're not even able to do that because he said that they're preparing for the Texans all day Thursday, literally right up until that game on Thursday. They are going to they're going to be preparing for them. And speaking of third down, so Coach Rule said 3rd and long is a key that he'll want to have the Texans facing. And Sam Darnold said that our Carolina Panthers did really, really good on on third down conversions. That's something that they'll want to keep up. I think I have a graphic here for you guys to take a look at briefly. Hopefully that doesn't show up too well at all, does it? So I'm going to take that off. But essentially, they were 8 of 15 last week on the third down conversions, had them just about at 53%. So more than half, a pretty respectable number. And he says they have to be careful about turnovers. This secondary creates a lot of turnovers. So I looked that up to see how much stats support that. And sure enough, even though it was against Trevor Lawrence, first-year quarterback against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Texans did have 3 turnovers against him. And then last week, they were able to get 1 turnover. So this defense is capable of producing some turnovers. So something that Sam says he needs to be aware of and make sure he doesn't put the Carolina Panthers in any precarious position. So something I need to go back to that I usually do at the top that I didn't do. Let me go ahead and go back to that, and that is the injury report. So guard Pat Eflin is on that injury report. He did not practice today. And defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos, he did not practice as well today. Now, Dennis Daly is going to start in place of Pat. Pat is very likely, if he has not already been designated, to be on the injured reserve for the Carolina Panthers. Yetur, he said, maybe if it was a longer week, he may have him back, but young guy, integral part of the team, not able to have him back so quickly Thursday night in the matchup against the Texans. So he'll likely not play on Thursday night versus the Houston Texans. So that will be my report. Hey, if you're watching this on any other network, so these go live on YouTube, but I put them out there on Twitter and also on Facebook. Encourage you to consider going over to the YouTube world, subscribing to the channel. You can just Google Charlotte Vibe and the channel will come up. Hit the subscription button. That way you'll be able to see these videos when they come out. And then most importantly, consider hitting that bell notification, because when I go live, you'll be able to get an alert. I love having interactive shows, and you'll be able to join me on the show and ask me any questions that you would like about the Carolina Panthers, which, by the way, I want to, again, plug the fact that I work for you guys. I want to hear lots of questions, anything that you have, whether it's for a coach, a player, or for me, leave them below. I aim to be the most interactive media resource for the Carolina Panthers that there is, so please keep that in mind. I asked about a player to talk to. You guys mentioned Dante Jackson. If there's others, please let me know. And if you like Dante Jackson, invite you to go ahead and leave a question that you'd like for me to ask, and I'll try to get him on the show next week. All right. So appreciate you as always. Everyone have a good night, and I'll continue to keep you updated. Again, there'll be no show tomorrow because the Carolina Panthers will be traveling to Houston, but look for me Thursday. Take care.